Hi, my name is Krista Alexander, and today I'm going to be discussing the importance of embryonic stem cell research. We're going to start off with the story. Kelly Carter, she was a good friend of mine. She was a single mother of a 6-month-old baby girl. Her maternity leave was over, and she was going back to work. It was her first day back to work, and she had dropped her baby girl at her mom's house. She was driving down I-20 to go to the hospital, and the next thing she knew, she saw a tractor trailer slam on the brakes in front of her, and she had nowhere to go. The accident was horrific. It took the paramedics to use the jaws of life to get her out of the car. She was in shock. She knew something was wrong. She woke up 2 days later to find out that she was a quadriplegic. She couldn't use any of her extremities below her neck. The one thing that bothered her the most is that she didn't know how she was ever going to be a mother again. Her only thought was she wanted to have the ability to hold her child and be able to play with her child. After several weeks in the hospital, Kelly was approached by a doctor that she had never seen before. He explained to her how sorry he was about the accident, and he told her of a new breakthrough research using embryonic stem cells that would take the place of the bad cells in the hopes that quadriplegic patients like herself would regain the use of their extremities again. And this actually gave Kelly some hope. Her spirits started to lift. The first question Kelly asked the doctor was, "What are embryonic stem cells? I've never heard of those before." He explained to her that, like their name, they're cells derived from embryos. Embryos are usually formed inside a mother's body, and then they grow into healthy babies. Scientific researchers have learned how to form these embryos in laboratories, and they do not come out of a woman's body themselves. Embryonic stem cells are known to have the ability to reproduce and grow into any kind of cell in the human body. This means that the research can find cures to conditions which cannot be treated presently. Cells that were destroyed by radiation, cells destroyed by chemotherapy, brain injuries, heart disease, liver disease, lung disease. Dead cells of almost any kind can be replaced with healthy embryonic stem cells. The National Institute of Health stated that where couples have embryos made and implanted, there are extra embryos left over. Couples are given a choice to have these embryos destroyed, donated to another couple, or donated to scientific research. In Kelly's case, she's hoping to get these donated to scientific research so that they can do more research. The United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization states that embryonic stem cell research could significantly change our ability to combat diseases such as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, cancer, multiple sclerosis, and other neurodegenerative diseases. These cells may have the ability to repair damaged sections of heart or bone or be useful in treating autoimmune diseases such as lupus or AIDS. The problem is there's a lot of controversy over stem cell research. There's many misconceptions about the research and where the stem cells are actually derived from. The cells are developed from eggs that have been fertilized in a laboratory. The embryos used would be thrown away anyways, and they're not from a woman's body. There's a lot of controversy that people think that these embryos are taken out of a woman's body or from aborted fetuses. Another problem is governmental funding is needed to do this research, and government interference and regulations prevent any real research due to lack of funding. Funding has been held up due to this research being so controversial about the process of obtaining the embryonic stem cells. For many years, there has been a federal ban on funding for this research. And in 2009, President Obama lifted the ban, stating the government had forced a false choice between sound science and moral values. And since President Obama made this change, the research has increased and more Americans have actually begun supporting this type of research. There are great possibilities with embryonic stem cell research. The origin and mechanics of chromosome abnormalities with defects can be explained once our understanding of these cells have been figured out. We can explore human genetic engineering. The creation of man-made organs for organ transplants can happen, and just the important insight into the nature of human life itself. For an example, with Kelly's injury, the damaged or dead cells in Kelly's spinal cord could be replaced with new healthy stem cells in the hopes that she would regain the use of her extremities again. The future of embryonic stem cell research is also very promising. There's work in progress right now to grow genetically matched tissue to replace anything in the body that has been damaged by disease or accident. That this tissue could actually replace whole organs. They're conducting research that will grow whole organs in a laboratory without any donors at all. These genetically produced stem cells will grow in a lab without the use of embryos at all. So embryonic stem cells could possibly Kelly is a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. From the moment the doctor walked into Kelly's hospital room to inform her about the trials and testing with embryonic stem cells, it gave her hope to one day hold her baby again. She does feel lucky to be alive and believes that her accident happened for a reason. She's a big advocate for stem cell research and works hard to push for governmental funding for this research to grow. Kelly sees the potential in this research and wants to spread the word. She wants everybody to spread the word. It is possible for her to imagine a day when she will arrive at her doctor's, get an injection of her new healthy stem cells, and before long she'll regain the use of her extremities again. This is the kind of cure we all dream of one day. Thank you so much for supporting stem cell research.